again Saturday, August 17th, 1985. Rodney, take it away.
We start off the program with a hot opening with Sam Houston getting his arm hurt by Ole Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, baby doll right at the beginning of the program. Then they go to the opening. It's Tony Schiavone, David Crockett, and they open up the program with the World Tag Team Champions, the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Moore, Robert Gibson, as they're going to be facing the Rising Sun. The crowd is on fire today. That studio is packed, and they are ready for some wrestling. There's no doubt about that. What did you think about the Rock and Roll Express interview there, Brent?
Oh, it was great. That was great. And I was surprised that Robert Gibson opened it up and started doing it to begin with.
Yeah, regardless of what he says, Robert can talk.
Yes.
Jack?
Yeah, that was it. It's good. Robert, as we get on into the show, you'll find out that Robert isn't quite what everybody has that in mind. He can talk, and he knows how to take some heat. And we'll talk about that shortly.
All right, match number one has Terry Taylor against the Stomper Jr. It's Tommy Lane in this one. Jack, what did you think about this match?
I thought it was a good match. They wrestled the whole show. We found that they presented something. I guess they got tired, like Brent said earlier today when we were talking. I guess they got tired of just these squash matches, and they actually had professional wrestling on, competitive professional wrestling matches tonight, and this was a great way to start.
Yep. Brent?
Yeah, I agree. It was a good match. I don't ever like, and I didn't see what Rodney's going to probably talk about in just a moment, but I don't like the big elbows and you go up in the air. I don't like that because it doesn't look right. And Tommy Lane did that several times probably in the finish of this match. And I've never have liked that. If you're going to go fly. Yeah, put it here. About knock my pictures down.
Yeah, knocking the Sawyer off the wall there.
Yeah.
Well, in the corner, Tommy Lane has Taylor in the corner. He's hits him 3 times, and Terry Taylor's slapping his leg 3 times in that corner, and it was blatant for all to see, except for Brent. Apparently asleep during that. But fast forward through the matches. But yeah, it was plain as day. I would have met Mr. Taylor at the door, at the curtain. This is national television. This is not some kind of Ricky National Guard Armory show. If you ever slap your legs like that again and expose the business, you're unemployed. It would never been showed. That whole thing, that whole little part in that corner would have never been shown if it was me. It was just unprofessional. And I have a feeling Mr. Taylor has to do with the leg slaps that we have in today's wrestling. I think he might be the innovator of such stupidity and exposure of the business.
I wonder if he's getting his royalty checks every time somebody does that.
He'd be the richest man in the world.
Well, I can tell you right now, Terry Taylor always was and has always been the concession stand's best friend. Ladies and gentlemen, during this match, we also learned that the new NWA World Junior Champion is Randy Royal. He defeated Denny Brown, and we found that out during this match as well. We didn't follow up with it throughout the rest of the show, but we found that out on the show. In that match. Then we have an interview. Of course, in the end, it's Terry Taylor winning with a sunset flip. Interview with Ric Flair, the world champion. He talked to Magnum TA, Dusty Nikita, and Buddy Lindell. Jack, what did you think about this?
Flair being Flair, making everybody look like a superstar. That's the way you do it.
Brent?
Yeah, I enjoyed the interview. It was good.
Got another great match coming up. Rocky King against Arn Anderson with Ole Anderson in the corner. Jack, what do you think about this one?
Well, now it wasn't Arn. It was Iron. Iron.
Okay.
Iron Anderson.
Yes.
So I don't know if David actually got an 8 hours of sleep or what changed, but the match was great. And I'm going to tell you, my favorite part of this was when it was over with, how Arn put Rocky over, as being, hey, this is not just some guy off the street. This is a real wrestler. This guy was really good, and I beat him. It was great.
Yeah, something I like about Rocky King, we've seen Josh Stroud. Rocky King actually had the abilities and got better and better and better and better where Josh Stroud did.
Yep.
Yeah, right. You're exactly right. Arn Anderson wins it with the Gork Buster over Rocky King. There's an interview with Ole and Arn Anderson, and they're talking about, of course, they're the national tag team champions. And then we get to see the full footage of the incident where Ole Anderson come off the top rope as Tully and Arn Anderson held the Sam Houston up, and Baby Doll slips Ole the foreign object, puts it in the knee, comes off the top rope. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful stuff. And then Dusty, Magnum, and what was it? Fernandez all came to the ring, and of course Anderson and the Anderson Tully Blanchard. Of course, this sets up the new alliance between the Andersons and Tully Blanchard. Britt, what did you think about that?
I love that. The whole thing was great. That crowd was on fire every time from that, wherever they did that TV taping at. They were on fire. But I always loved it for whatever reason. And Ole's the only one these people do this to. When he's doing an interview, everybody is hollering, "We don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it." Every time from Ole. And there was people in the dressing room that said the same thing to him. So I think that was probably
they're the ones that started the chant. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think they started.
Jack?
Oh, it was great. I especially kept looking out in the crowd for that girl with the lace gloves because, she'd still be age appropriate for me.
Now we have match number 3. Another great match coming up is Joel Deaton, I guess, United States heavyweight champion, Tully Blanchard with Baby Doll. And, of course, they talk about in the match, David and Tony talked about the new alliance with them and Tully Blanchard. Tremendous match. Jack, what do you think about this one?
If you had not had any more matches the rest of this show, this match right here was worth watching. They could have interviewed. The rest of the show wouldn't have upset me at all. This was a professional wrestling match, and I loved it.
Brett?
Yeah, Tully was giving him everything. He had a great match with the guy, made him look great, and then it made him look great when he beat him.
And the crowd was really into it. In the end, it's Tully Blanchard winning with the slingshot suplex. And there's the United States champion. Now, interview with Dusty Rhodes, world television champion. Talks to Andersons. Tully and Dusty talks about Baby Doll and running up his bills on his credit card. Jack, what do you think?
I've been in Dusty's place so many times. That's why I'm single. So I know exactly where he's coming from. Great interview, though. Put over the fact that, hey, I won. I got her. I kind of wished I hadn't now, but, life goes on. I love it. Great interview.
Yeah, it was good.
Right. Very good. And then we go to a match, Magnum TA versus the Golden Terror. And this was a surprise for everyone. Jack, tell us about the surprise.
I picked up a pencil to write a note, and I missed the whole match. I'm just kidding. It was quick, but it was a good match.
Yeah.
And then it's the belly to belly with Magnum TA, and that was the end of that one. Then an interview with both Magnum TA and Dusty, and of course TA talking about the Andersons, talking about what they did to Sam Houston, and getting ready for and wanting a Texas Tornado match, which I'm assuming that's coming up at the next Omni event. Texas Tornado match with Dusty and Magnum TA against the Andersons, Ole and Iron.
Yeah. Iron today.
Yeah, it is. Match number 5.
Anderson next week, but you never know.
Match number 5. Not one of my favorites, but it was the Barbarian against one of the greats, Lee Ramsey. And this one, the Barbarian was accompanied by number 1 Paul Jones and Abdullah the Butcher. Brent?
I frontwards that matchup. I'm sorry.
Frontward that matchup. Was it better in fast forward?
Yeah, Lee Ramsey usually is good when you're frontwards him up. I noticed.
Jack.
Now I like Barbarian. I guess because back in those days you just didn't see guys in that kind of physical condition very often. So I got a lot of admiration for him, and the guy in the long run had a pretty stellar career.
Sure did. Up the end, it's the Barbarian winning with the top rope headbutt. Then an interview with Paul Jones, the Barbarian, and Abdullah the Butcher. They talk about Jimmy Valiant and challenge Dusty Rhodes to the World Television Championship. I'm assuming that is coming up somewhere down the line. That's going to be pretty good, and it would be different than what they had before.
Yeah, let me interject right here. Yeah. What I have noticed, and I don't know if anybody else has, but they had so many overlaying storylines going on back in this time. It wasn't just 2 guys working or 4 guys working, an angle. You had so many different layers of different guys at any time, at any arena. It could be anybody, and they've built for it.
That's right, and that's where you can interchange the talent, hitting that sweet spot, which it's very rare. But when you get it, you got it, and they're heading that way for sure, Brent.
Yeah, Paul Jones to me, people say, well, I didn't think he could do a great interview. He knew what he was doing. He knew the points he needed to get, and he knew how to get the heat when he needed to get the heat. Yep. So I always thought Paul Jones.
Very different than he and James J. Dillon, Cornette for sure.
Plus, he can sell you some Amway. So
that's right.
You can't never.
Match number 6, the World Tag Team Championship on the line. It is the Rock and Roll Express against the Rising Sun with James J. Dillon. Jack, what did you think about this one?
I thought it was a great match. I did a little research. One of the Japanese guys were the original Kendo Nagasaki, and I'll probably mess this up, Tatsutashi Goto, which I've heard of Goto before. That was the guys under the mask. It was a great match. Those guys were in tremendous shape. I don't know if they were only purposely having them there for a short term, what that deal was, but personally, I wish they had done a little bit more with it, just a clean pin on the end. But it was a great match. Again, just like I alluded to earlier, Robert Gibson took the heat during this match. We're normally used to seeing Ricky take the heat and get the hot tag to Robert coming in, cleaning house like Superman. But they reversed roles this time, and both, it shows you both are really good.
I love the finish in this match because they had done the thing where he whipped him in, he gave him the big chop, and then they did it again. Robert comes in and hits him, and it was beautiful the way he brought him over and he sunset flipped him and beat him 1, 2, 3. I thought this finish was tremendous. Whoever came up with it, whether it was Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson, James J. Dillon, Dusty Rhodes, tremendous finich.
Absolutely, and really, we should see more of the Rising Sun, but we do not see any more of them. They are gone after this. And of course, during this match, we Tony and David lets us know that there's fans from Houston, Texas, in the audience today, so they knew Rock and Roll Express from their Mid-South days. Then we had an interview with Tully Blanchard with Baby Doll. They talked Dusty Rhodes and the World TV Championship and Magnum TA, and of course, Brent, what did you think about that?
Oh, I don't even know what he said. They showed Baby Doll, and I forgot everything he said.
Yeah, I'm pretty guilty of the same thing. It was a good interview. Again, those overlaying storylines that they got going on. It was great. Tully Blanchard doesn't do anything bad.
No, and it's still shining, completely shining. Another great match coming up is a tag match with Pistol Pez Watley of the Italian Stallion against Ivan Koloff, Crusher Khrushchev with Nikita Koloff at ringside. Jack, what do you think about this one?
It was a pretty good match. To my surprise, Italian Stallion got beat.
Oh,
imagine that! But,
amazing! Yeah, a shocker indeed, Brent.
I liked the match. I liked every time Pez was in there, but for some reason, I just cringe every time Italian Stallion's in the ring. I don't know why. It's not that he's a horrible wrestler. I just cringe. I'm not for sure why.
Maybe you're afraid that he's going to hand you the bill for the pizza for the evening. Could very well be. All them colors right there. You're afraid that you're going to get that bill right there. All right, so now we have they're going to talk. It's Tony and David talking about next week's show. It's going to be the World Six-Man Tag Team Championship. It's going to be the Russians, Ivan Nikita Koloff, Crusher Khrushchev against Ron Bass, Jimmy Valiant, and the American Starship Eagle. Why else have two other partners when you have him as a partner?
I know.
I mean, really. After the American Starship Eagle, really no need to have anybody else.
Let's be fair, man. He went on to a stellar. Oh, never mind. I'm thinking about somebody else.
Okay. And then it comes up. Match number 8 is the American Starship Eagle laying the gigantic egg with Gerald Finley. Actually, this was a lot better than the first match he had. Brent,
I was reading my magazine during that time.
Can you imagine?
Wrestling News. I was reading that during that, and I don't remember anything that happened.
He won with a leg drop. American Starship Eagle over Gerald Finley.
What were they? Again, what were they thinking? Dressing them just like Hulk Hogan, and what were they thinking?
Well, they were thinking so much that they had to send Ric Flair out there for a second time to cover up that match with another interview. And this time he's out here talking about Dusty Rhodes this time around. And of course, everything leading to the big Starrcade coming up. And that's
hey, by the way, now let me ask this question. Ric Flair did this interview and he was talking, and he said during this video, I believe it was during this, it could have been the first one, but he said, here's Dusty Rhodes in the control room. So he basically gave faves that Dusty's in the control room, and he even tells what kind of hat he's got on and everything in the control room. What's wrong with Flair? He's telling me behind the scenes. He said, well, Dusty just gave me the finish for the match in the Omni Sunday night. So what?
Well, he just said that he wanted to get in the control room, and Dusty wouldn't let him in. He wanted to sit in there. He has to sit out with the other guys. Well, Dusty's got the big chair sitting in the control room.
Was this? Did Flair do another interview after this, or is this on?
Let's see. I believe did he do another one after that? No, I think this is the last one.
Okay, this is the one that I really enjoyed because he built the company. It's been the best professional wrestling organization on the planet. And he wasn't wrong. And then he proceeded to build every guy that he had any involvement with on that show, whether it was the good guys or the bad guys. He made the people understand that these were the greatest professional wrestlers in the world right now. Right. And that is how you do it. You make people believe that when you beat somebody, you've beat somebody. You know, he didn't run them down. You know, he switched gears a little bit, started running Dusty down a little bit, but he had already put him on a pedestal, you know, but then clarified that, hey, no matter what, or Nikita, it wasn't Dusty, it was Nikita. He was saying, you know, you're great, you're tough, but I'm tougher, I'm better. You know, I've tasted what you got, and it was easy to swallow. So, you know, it was great interview, I thought.
Then we have another interview with Ivan Nikita Koloff, Crusher Khrushchev, the World Six-Man Tag Team Champions. They talk about Ric Flair, the Road Warriors, the Rock and Roll Express. They talk about even having a lumberjack match with Ric Flair for the world title coming up. Just tremendous, Brent.
Yeah. He also told Tony he didn't get a haircut.
Yep. Yes, he did. Ivan did. Time that he get, and it was time for a haircut, I think. Yes, he might need to get that out there. Then another. We had 3 interviews back to back, unless I missed something in that. It was Jim Cornette talking about the Sawyers, and then match number 9 is the Midnight Express against the Jeffer brothers, Mac, and Jim. Brent.
You know, I'm a Midnight Express fan, but there was too many top rope things. They just did it too often in WCW, World Championship Wrestling, WA for me. You know, and I understand that that's what they wanted to do. They were trying to get Bobby Eaton over that, but I just felt like you do it and you would do something, and then the finish wouldn't be as strong as what he just did off the top rope to him. I don't know that I've been going back and watching it, and I don't know about that. I don't know if I can be a fan of some of the stuff they do.
They're doing very different. They're very different than the Andersons. That was the key to make sure you're different than any other tag team that they had. They're different than the Russians for sure. So they did a lot of top rope stuff, and it was different. And I think that's primarily why they did it. It's my opinion of that.
Well, wasn't coming off the top rope a disqualification?
No, not there. It's not.
No.
Oh,
okay. That's Mid-South. Then we saw the first. This was they win in the match with what will end up being called the rocket launcher, as Dennis Condrey slams or takes and launches Bobby Eaton in a splash off the top rope onto one of the Jefferson. They just not even show up for that one. Anyway, so interview number. The next interview come up with the Sawyers, and of course they're talking about Cornette and his tennis racket. They show some video footage from the Omni involving looked like Buzz Sawyer, Manny Fernandez against the Midnight Express. Cornette throws the tennis racket into Dennis Condrey, and then it freezes. And
that was magnificent. The way they froze that and came back to Buzz Sawyer. Buzz Sawyer took off the thing, and he's got that was great storytelling. I thought that was tremendous.
And that's how that ended up. And of course, the Sawyers are talking about their upcoming match with the Midnight Express. Match number 10 was Ron Rossi against Buddy Lindell, the Nature Boy, with James J. Dillon. Brent.
I furnished that match up.
Did you push that out?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I did.
Jack,
I like this match. Buddy was so aggressive in this match. I mean, that poor Ron Rosnick did not get the time of day from him, and that's what to me made it entertaining, because the guy's I mean, I hate to say it, he's not really good, but Buddy was so over him. I don't care who it was. I mean, he just smothered the guy up so much, but never slowed down doing it. I enjoyed the match.
In the end, it's the spinning elbow followed by the figure four, and by no surprise, it's Buddy Landell. I get confused on that. Is the winner of that one with James J. Dillon. Then they go over to the desk for the interview with Buddy Landell and James J. Dillon. I thought Landell did a great job. He did a pose. He said, "Oh, I want to show something for Ric Flair," and he showed him. But he said, not too much. It was awesome. It was very different than what we had seen before with all the prior interviews, even Ric Flair. Then concession stand's best friend, it's Terry Taylor back out there, the leg slapper himself, the innovator, just tremendous, has about the personality of a ring post, and his interviews are about as sincere as you can get. That's the reason he really never was the main event, never were going to be, because he's insincere. He never believed what he was talking about, and it came over that he didn't believe what he was talking about.
So you're saying the Red Rooster really didn't kill his career?
No, it was dead long before that. No, he was awful before that. I mean, we saw him and Ric Flair fill the concession stand up at the Superdome.
So Bruce Prichard is telling the truth. It wasn't really Terry Taylor's fault as much as it was.
No, it's true. If somebody gives you a tool, you learn how to use it.
Yep. And
he just didn't know how to use it. And I watched him do an interview in Memphis. He was trying to be heel. It was awful. It was awful. He's still insincere. That's the point. He comes over fake and phony. Exactly what's the problem with Mr. Taylor. But those are his good points.
Now,
he was a jerk personally behind the scenes as well.
Well, yeah, but
that's not the reason that I despised him on this TV show or in this interview.
He was good in the ring. He wasn't one of the greatest guys in the ring, but he was good. But I always thought they missed the boat of having him work as a babyface when he should have been a heel with a mouthpiece out there. With anybody talking for him, I think he would have gotten over a whole lot better if he'd never been able to open it. Maybe do, Abdullah Jr. I don't know. Something where he never talks.
Probably one of the better things they could have done is put Kevin Sullivan as his manager. That would have worked. He could have changed his name to, I don't know. He would change Bob Roop's name and changed what was it? Who did he change? Mike Davis' name to Dusty Rhodes.
Yep.
He could have changed him. He could have changed him to Ric Flair because that's who he really wanted to be.
Yep.
And he couldn't because he couldn't do the interview.
He wasn't the worst.
Sure could slap his leg in the corner when people are hitting, but nobody could see that, Terry. Nobody could see it. You're sorry. I'm sorry. He's sorry. I despise. He's about as worse as Kevin Sullivan. It's just unwatchable. All right, anyway, that's all I have to say about him.
This is what you get for $2.99 a month.
That's right. Terry Taylor is one of the top 10 unwatchables, by the way. Terry Taylor, number 10. Terry Taylor, Kevin Sullivan, right number 1. But anyway, so interview with the Terry Taylor. The ring post. Then match number 11 is Sam Houston against Black Martin, and he's the national champion. Taylor is at the desk. We're doing some wonderful commentary. I would have rather heard David Crockett. Jack, what did you think?
The commentary made the match so much better.
Oh, did it?
The match was so much better than the commentary. So, actually, this wasn't a bad match at all. I mean, we kept about Bart quite a bit, but
yes.
He was solid in the ring, and this match was really good. I enjoyed the fact that Sam was working the whole broken wrist deal and worked it well. And when he made that big comeback and everybody thought he had won, I mean, people were into it. Yeah. So whatever else you want to say, that the people believed it.
Yeah, I like them. I like this match. This match was good, and the loaded elbow was tremendous. I thought it was great.
Yep.
And that was the end of the program. Bart wins at that, of course, like what Brent was saying with the loaded elbow, and that ends the program. And Terry Taylor was involved. He distracted the referee, almost like he was out there to distract the referee so that Black Bart could use a foreign object on the man.
Well, he was distracting the fans from the match. So.
Could be.
Okay, folks, if you're watching, give us the big thumbs up and subscribe to the page. And if you haven't subscribed to the page, subscribe.
Nobody saw it. Terry, nobody saw it. Nobody saw you slap your leg in the corner, Terry. Nobody saw it, you moron. Nobody saw it, Terry.
Hey, I'm trying to do my
outro in the corner. You're an idiot. And he'll sit there and critique everybody else's matches. I had to sit there and listen to him whine and cry and Boutwell telling how great he would be in these matches and putting them together. And then he goes to the ring and he slaps his leg like a moron.
Okay, folks, give us the big thumbs up. Subscribe to the page. This is just some of the stuff that you can watch right here on YouTube. What was I saying? I don't remember now.
I
tell you what, subscribe, like, thumbs up, I think is what it is, like, and hit that notification bell. You'll get to see more videos just like this, and Rodney might have a fit at any time during any kind of interview, especially during Terry Taylor or Kevin Sullivan or Mark Lewin.
And there's going to be others later.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video on World Championship Wrestling.